Okay, the next thing you need to know how to do is how to use the watch to acquire time distance data. So the first thing you do to enable the satellite hookup is you hit page menu, so this button right here, and as soon as you do that, if you're in an outdoor location, you'll see that it's trying to locate satellites right now and get a fix on your position. This may take some time. Sometimes it takes my watch up to a minute to actually accomplish this. So we're waiting for this location. I can see the bar is almost full, so that means we must be almost done. Sometimes this will take some time. Still waiting. Don't be alarmed if it takes this long. This is actually a little longer than normal, but it might have to do with the fact that it's an overcast day. Okay, so there we went. We're all set to go now. You can see that distance, which is usually up here on top, is zeroed out, and the time is zeroed out, and my pace is nothing. So if I want to go ahead and start, what I do is hit start stop. So I'll hit start stop, and what you'll see is the timer starts, and then what happens, hopefully, is as you begin to move, you should see the watch actually respond. So now I'm moving around the oval right now, and you can see the distance now has picked up a click, and down below I can see my pace, and what's meant by pace is how many minutes it would take me to cover a distance of a mile. So I can see that right now my pace is pretty poor because I'm just walking. So if I walked at this pace, it would take me about 22 minutes to cover a mile. But let's just see what happens if I pick up the pace a little bit. So now I'm walking faster. You can hear my voice getting a little bit winded because I'm trying to walk a little bit faster, make the watch respond. And you can see indeed that the pace now is down to about 18 minutes a mile. So somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 miles an hour. And I'm going to go a little bit faster now and just see what happens when I run. So when I'm running here now, you can see the pace of the watch. If I slow down to see it, 15 minutes a mile. So that was about 4 miles an hour. Now I'm slowing down again and see how fast it responds. You can see there's a little bit of lag in the watch's response to the pace. Certainly not running 16 now minutes a mile. Let's slow it way down. Now I'm walking really slow. Let's see. So it must calculate some sort of running average in predicting your pace. There's a little bit of a lag on that average for sure. 17 minutes a mile. Let's just see what happens if I all but stop here. I'll stop up here in a little bit. Just watch what's going on. $18 minutes a mile. So I'll just go ahead and stop for a second and see what happens to the pace. Certainly climbing now. So maybe I'll just stop and wait here for about 10 or 15 seconds so that when we take a look at the data from the watch, we can recognize where my velocity has been reduced to 0. And now you can see that pace really picking up in terms of minutes per mile. The running average is quite a bit higher than what it was when I was walking. Certainly see that the distance isn't increasing any yet, so that's good confirmation that it's getting the right distance. And the pace, of course, is pretty slow, so that running average, the pace is climbing because it's averaging in a bunch of zeros to data that exists before it. Alright, well, let's go ahead and finish our walk around the oval. So I'll go ahead and keep moving. Now, hopefully we'll watch that pace come back down. The distance increasing now. I can see them up to about 18/10 of a mile, or 18/100ths of a mile. Go ahead and keep walking here. Just about 3/4 of the way around the oval now. And you can see that pace is still pretty high, of course, because it's averaging that pace over a series of data. Well, we better take a look at that. Here's the bear. Alright, heading back to the math department now. We're getting close to being back in front of the math department, where I'll end this, and then we'll move on to another video where I'll show you how you can get the time distance data off of the watch and into Microsoft Excel to take a look at time distance graphs, to use your knowledge of calculus to understand how the velocity and acceleration is changing. Alright, well, we're getting close to the math department. Here it is. And I'll walk over to my tripod so that I can put the camera down and then show you how to stop the data collection. So here's my tripod. And to stop the data collection, all we do is hit stop start again. And the timer is stopped. And that's it. If you hit page menu again, you can go back to just the regular functioning of the watch, which is as a I guess a clock. Notice that the satellite did update the time. It had the wrong time to begin with, and connection with the satellite updates the time. So that's about it for this video, and we'll continue with the next video to tell you a little bit about how you can get the time distance data off your watch.